just going to explain a little bit about my history with the ASMR community and just things about the tingles, which we all love because, I mean, you're watching the video, aren't you? Anyways, I can remember experiencing ASMR for as long as I can remember, honestly. 3 cases when I had experienced ASMR was once in kindergarten. I recall feeling it, but I don't know what triggered it really. But I recall the feeling. The second time was I was playing with my friend. We were playing with Hot Wheels cars, and I recall we were counting them up to split them evenly between each other, and he counted them to himself, so he kind of went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and like that. And that really gave me the tingles. That's actually sort of one of my favorite tingles. That's up there in one of my favorites, which is like the inaudible kind of thing. And so that just really gave me the tingles. And I recall actually, which this is interesting, I counted them back also to myself. And I recall him saying that he actually got the tingles too, but he didn't call them the tingles. He said, "That made my heart feel good." And so I thought that was kind of funny. But that was the first person that I knew who could also experience this, so I knew I wasn't necessarily alone on this. Then the third time was in 4th grade. We were reading a history book, and it was a quiet reading session sort of thing. And one of my friends who sat next to me was just sort of sitting there reading it to himself, and he would trace his finger along the words too, but at the same time he would read it quietly to himself. So it was kind of like, and that really gave me the tingles. And the best part about that was that it was an hour-long quiet reading session, so I got the tingles for about an hour, which was pretty great. But then it just kind of became quiet. You know, I had experiences with ASMR from time and time again, but I didn't know what it was, honestly. And about a year ago, a close friend of mine texted me and asked me if I knew what ASMR was, and I had no clue. And she said that it was like a tingling feeling, and she sort of described this feeling that I had been feeling, you know, and I like went totally crazy. I was like, I've been feeling this too my entire life, and I had no idea what it was. And now there's this whole community on the internet of people who just make these triggers and make you feel this, and I think that's really interesting. But yeah, I started watching ASMR videos, and I've been watching for about a year now, and I am really into photography and cinematography, and so I have this camera, and I'd been thinking for a while, like, oh, that'd be really fun to make a channel on YouTube for ASMR, and it just kind of, it was in the back of my head for a while, and at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I was sitting at my desk just browsing YouTube, and I saw an ASMR video in the suggested, and I was like, you know what, I've got nothing better to do. I should try and make an ASMR video. And so now here I am. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get on with the triggers. That's enough about me. Also, the reason that I'm out of focus and right here is in focus is because I want to hold up the triggers and let you guys see them, rather than just having me in focus and the triggers be out of focus. Because this sweater is really honestly not that interesting. So I think I will start I doubt you guys can see this happening. But if you're not into cameras, a lot of this rambling that I might say won't make a lot of sense. But anyways, my neighbors gave me this camera body, and this lens was on it. And they were like, we really don't have a use for it, and we've never really used this camera that much, so you can go ahead and have it because we know that you're into cinematography and different things. And I was like, alright, cool. So I did a little bit of research online, and I figured out that this style of connection is called FD. And so I looked for an FD lens mount that would go to micro four thirds, which is what this camera uses. And oh, if you're curious what camera it is, it's a Lumix GH4. It is amazing. It's one of my favorite cameras of all time. So I found one online for about $7, a little adapter, and I ordered it. And you can see it's right here. It's connected. And I won't take it off because it's kind of a pain to put back on. But yeah, it's really great for its age. And the best part is, for those of you who are into cameras, you should go online and look for FD lenses and FD to your mount converters, because these are extremely cheap compared to professional lenses that go for about $500. I looked online and this was going for about $20, which is great. And so I've just been stockpiling different styles, like a macro lens, which is for getting really close, and just a few other ones because they're just so cheap, and it's so nice being able to have lots of options, because before this I only had that lens and another cheapo lens that I got for $50. And so I was kind of restricted on what kind of styles I could get. And so now it's just really great, and it's opening lots of doors for my creativity and different things. So yeah, that's just a tip for you guys. Let's see. The next one is, this might just look like a hunk of metal, but this is a Paris, just a raw skateboard truck, and this is an original Kingpin truck. I don't do a lot of skateboarding, actually. I do lots of longboarding, and so maybe in another video I can do just a video of all the different longboards I have or something, and the wood makes really nice tapping sounds. So maybe I could do that for you guys. But yeah, this is, I just grabbed this one off my shelf. I really love the feel that this has, actually. It feels like you're surfing, kind of, or like maybe snowboarding. I've never gone surfing, so I wouldn't know, but I do a lot of snowboarding as well. But yeah, it's a really nice feel, and they also sell it in longer versions so that you can fit them on your longboards. I mean, you could put them on a longboard right now, but the length between the wheels is surprisingly thin, so it wouldn't be that comfortable of a ride. These are more ridiculous that I might have done. But yeah, I thought these were pretty aesthetically pleasing, so I thought that I would show these instead of some muddy, ripped up pair of trucks. So, yeah, that's that. Let's see. Okay, this is a tactical flashlight. The reason I picked it was because of this grip, which you might not be able to see because it's kind of dark. But it makes pretty good sounds for when you rub your fingernail over it. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of tapping and different things. I've just been picking the triggers that have lots of tapping. sketching or using oil pastels or something. Paints have never really been my big thing, but I thought I'd just give it a shot. I've tried different methods of putting artwork on longboards, and this one has been proven to be the most tedious of them all. It's been going okay. It's like this octopus and a submarine, and then like this kraken thing. It just kind of came out of my head, and I just started drawing it on the board. But yeah, once I finish it, I'll probably spray a clear coat over it, and hopefully it'll look alright, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. One of my friends painted Bob Marley on his longboard on the back of it, and it turned out super cool, but he's a much better painter, drawer, and everything else artsy. He's better than me at like all of that, so yeah. Funny story about it actually. This is still something I feel super guilty about. So before this, before what I did, we were longboarding on that board, and he had just painted it, and it looked super good. And one of my friends, the longboard flexes, so it's kind of like if you put weight on it, it'll flex and come back. One of my friends wanted to try it out just to see how it was, and he got on, and it flexed down and hit the road, and the artwork was kind of ruined in one spot, and he was so pissed. But then, later on, about 2 weeks later, I still feel terrible about this. We were hippie jumping over different obstacles, and so what that is if you set up an obstacle that you can go under, say this is your longboard, and then you're here. You would ride the longboard or skateboard or something. You jump over the obstacle as the longboard goes under it. Then you would land on it and keep going. And we were seeing how high we could get it. And I jumped up, and I think it was about 2 cinder blocks tall. I jumped up, and I landed, and I snapped his board right at the top of it, and I felt terrible. So I let him actually have one of my longboard decks, because I honestly just have too many right now. So I let him have one of my decks, and yeah, we're cool now, but post, but I can flip it in post, so don't worry. This book is very dark, but it is super, super interesting. I started reading it at the beginning of my sophomore year in high school. Currently I'm a junior in high school. I had started reading it at the beginning as a, just sort of a book for English class. She said that after we'd finished work, we would just sort of read or something if we had a book. So I was recommended this book by multiple people, and so I got it off of online. I got it used, so it's in kind of rough condition. And I just started reading it, and I could not put it down. I've read it twice now, and I can read the back. It says, "There is something that makes David Rivers a cynical and apathetic 24-year-old substitute teacher very different. It could be the depression, or the hallucinations, or it could be the little black creature that crawls in his window at night. Whatever the case, it is becoming a problem." And this was written by Joshua S. Porter, and I think that he actually plays in a band or something, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this was one of the first books that I had ever read on my own. I'm not a huge reader, but this was one of my favorite books ever, which I haven't read many, but I do know that this is a really good book. Spoiler alert here, kind of. There's a couple theories about this book and like what it is, and I actually don't know exactly what it is, but essentially this guy sees these little black creatures and they control people, and whenever he sees them, they always do something bad. And so, for example, he was in the supermarket at one point, and he saw a little black thing crawl onto a woman's arm, and then her arm slapped her younger kid. And it's essentially like the natural human nature, natural human sin that we have, I think. But he actually kills someone and he doesn't know it because the little black creature killed the person. Hopefully I didn't spoil it for any of you who are planning to read it. But yeah, I don't exactly know, and I don't exactly understand the book yet. And I've read it twice, and I've looked online, and that's kind of what I've seen, and it does make sense, so yeah, I might read it another time to make it clear. Alright, the last trigger, and probably one of the strangest, is this little tiny button, and the front of it has been sanded off. I actually did that. This goes to my car. Looks like my fan's turned on. This goes to my car. I have a Nissan 350Z. I am a huge motorhead. I love modding my car any way possible without looking too much like a ricer, if any of you know what that is. But this button, this is the traction control button, and you can see, you click it, and it toggles on and off, and so when you press it down, like that, it spin around in the snow a little bit. This button is your best friend. However, the wiring in it was a little bit messed up, I think, from the previous owner. I don't exactly know why it wasn't working, but I took it apart and put it back together, and it seems like it's working fine now. But also there was a big scratch across right here, and it didn't look that good, even though the button is kind of out of sight. I didn't like it, so I sanded it off, and I'm thinking about putting maybe like just all black or like a red button, or I don't know, maybe something witty on it, some drifting joke, I don't know. But yeah, it's just sort of a little project on the side. I actually need to focus on getting a summer job right now so that I can get some money to work on my car more, because currently I have zero internal engine mods to my car, but I'd love to get a different exhaust, something that sounds a little bit lower, put in high flow cats. I heard that changing out the air filter, especially on the 350Z, can help. Putting in a K&N drop-in filter works. There's just a few things that I'd like to do. Online, if any of you are 350Z owners, I'm sure you've heard the buzz about the Rocket Bunny kit coming out. If you don't know what that is, go online and type in Nissan 350Z Rocket Bunny, and it is pretty cool. But I'd love to save up and get that, and get some different rims maybe, and just different wheels essentially, and see if I can install that kit on my car. I think that would be so awesome. Anyways, I'll let you guys enjoy this a little bit. A lot of this video has been me talking just because I wanted to sort of introduce myself to the community, I guess. Yeah. Also, I love ASMR videos that are long. It kills me when I see a 7-minute video or 5-minute video or even a 10-minute video, and it's a really good trigger, or it's a really good ASMR artist. Because then it's like you just kind of watch it and then it's over, and it really sucks. So hopefully, if you guys are really enjoying like my whispering maybe, or just all of these triggers, then hopefully this extremely long video will be good for you. Also, the Zoom H1 microphone, which is what I'm using right now, it has two microphones crossing each other. I can't remember what it's called right now. I'm having a brain fart right now, I'm sorry. But you can see that I can go ear to ear, which should be great for whispering videos as well. So I might go ear to ear for a second on some of these.